There it is. Number 205, Padden Drive.
Save your thumb.
Okay, we're coming in now. Let him know that we're here. See Mr. Richard Jacenette, Spring Valley, California.
Something of a quirk of nature, and they began breeding this. So what they were doing was actually developing a strain of bird that was going to start to do this. Slowly the tumbler, and eventually the roller as we know it. And this was, as all things are done, you know, to create a new strain, you just have to take genetics, apply it, and work on it.
So it's not a long-term instinctual thing?
No, I wouldn't say a bird came along all of a sudden and was a species of its own.
Okay, we're here in the yard of Mr. Richard Jacenette. He's talking to my friend Jeffrey. We're going to sit down and just get a few shots of some of his rollers, breeders, and so forth. Want to get the birds, of course, when they're outside. He's going to answer a few questions for us. Just kind of describing some of the rollers that he's got, and how they mate, and so forth and so on. Seems like an awfully nice gentleman. He's got his family of Pensum, Smith, and Perkins birds, which he's blended very well over the last, I'm not sure how many years, but probably a few years. And before the sun goes down, we want to get in there, get a couple of close-ups, some of these pigeons. We're going to get over there and start talking to them pretty soon. As you can see, this is some pretty interesting looking birds. Here's his loft. And, here's his front yard. There's kind of a cul-de-sac or almost a valley over there. The gate when you come in.
Beautiful bird, and along with the odd side, it's got an odd eye too.
Is an odd-eyed bird, huh?
So I think it just fits the part, and it's going to be a good roller. It just feels nice in the hand.
Feels good.
Feels great.
Good.
Absolutely great.
Well, that's
it's
nice.
a young bird, and it'll develop.
What particular pair is that one on? Just out of curiosity.
Actually, it's off my Black Rain line.
Black Rain? Is there? Do you have Black Rain here?
I don't have her here, but I do have her. But it's at the point now where I've had so many visitors, I've had to use a little safety precaution, you know.
Sure.
And some of my better birds are in another location.
Good.
And so
makes sense.
They're just safe and comfortable right now.
I hear that. I hear that.
But she's off my Black Rain line. Real nice bird.
Directly from the hen, or?
Right off of the hand.
Okay.
Excuse me. Yeah.
And the cock on this particular mating was what?
The cock was 481, and he's a lavender white flight.
Okay.
Back in '83, I think he came off of. And one of my old breeders.
That's not lavender laser, is it?
No, lavender laser is a different bird altogether.
Okay.
They're in the breeding loft there. You'll see some of their progeny there in a few minutes.
Okay, fantastic. I would certainly love to have a look at your breeders.
Yeah, we'll come on over.
That's
this area here.
Humanely possible. We're going to follow Mr. Jacenette into the breeding loft and have a few, roll a few feet of his breeding birds. We're following into the breeding loft here of Richard Jacenette.
This is one section of my breeding loft that I have here at the home. There's a lavender laser right there.
Okay.
You can see on the eggs.
That's a cockbird, isn't it?
Yeah, one's a cock one. Of course, the hen is the same thing. There's the hen and a cock. In fact, I think I said it the opposite. There's the hen and there's the cock right here.
The white?
It's a lavender bald saddle.
Okay.
And very, very pretty markings on the birds.
Beautiful bird.
And
beautiful bird.
The original bird that I developed this line from was back in 1979.
Okay.
Beautiful bird, and and a beautiful 40-foot spinner. Absolutely perfect.
Ooh,
Real nice bird.
Excellent.
From that bird, I developed this line, so to where when I breed these two together, I get bald saddles.
Beautiful.
So the genes are set on that particular line.
Okay, right above them, what pair would you call that?
This up above,
Right above lavender laser. Yeah, that
right
pair.
here. Okay, now there's a dun barred cock self there. Nice orange-eyed fella. Good spinner he was in his day, and you can see there's a little beard badge, blue bar, white over there.
Badge mark, yeah.
Yeah, and they've raised some fine youngsters too.
Okay, and above them, what is that? A tick bird?
Yeah, well, actually, you got a lavender, and of course the black ticking badge there, and made it to a little what we call a red dun saddle there, bald in nature, and part of that is from the lavender laser line on the hand there.
Okay.
But we've got just all colorations there.
You certainly do.
Nice little hen there. You see her?
Sure do. That cock, what is he, like a dark tort on the top there?
On the top?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, He's a dark tort. He's kind of a little bit of a grizzled front on him. And he's a good little fella, good breeder.
These are your primary stock birds, right, sir?
Yeah, along with some others I have in another location.
Right.
There's a real pretty red hen over here. Just flew in here. She went in her nest.
Up there? 5, 6 so far?
Yeah. And
sure looks pretty, doesn't she?
It's a real nice dark checkered white cock there. And I've got so many of them in here. They're in and out all the time. Here's a.
Could you show us something? I know this is. We don't want to be redundant about the black rain business, but show me the closest relative that you have to black rain, if you have one. If it's even
closest relative to black rain. Well, let's see.
Maybe a sister or brother.
Here's probably a full brother right here.
Okay. That badge mark cock.
Yeah. Just went inside, start cooling.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have one or two more around in here.
One more question on that, if you don't mind. Who produced Black Rain? Do you still have the original?
No, those birds are all gone now.
They're dead and gone?
Yeah, 9674. They're gone now. And Black Rain's going on its 10th year now.
Oh, is she 10? No kidding.
Yeah, she's going on her 10th year, so they're getting up there.
It's an interesting, looks to be a straight ahead. He's a bronze bar grizzle, straight ahead there. Yeah, right there. Yeah. Well, how would you describe that bird color-wise?
Yeah, actually, you did about as good a job as I could do.
I'm no pro. I'll tell you, I'm learning all the time.
Yeah, it's actually a bronze bar tortoise.
Tortoiseshell.
Yeah, more toward the blue, but you do have the bronze bar in there. A little different in coloration. But yeah, you get them in all colors, and coming off the 3 lines that I breed, you get a good variety of colorations. And
you really do.
People ask me, how come you can get so many colorations? Well, I say it's just what you start off with in the beginning, and the 3 different lines intermingled gives you just about anything and everything.
Usually about the 3rd or 4th generation, then they start to throw some unusual colors. Is that right? Well, there's no rule of thumb.
Actually, I have never found that to be, a hard, fast rule of thumb, although I see some reasoning behind it. What you're doing is, after the 3rd generation, you're probably developing your own line. As you, for instance, would get possibly some Jacenette strain birds, you work with them. Well, every year the birds will be more of the wolf line bird as you develop them and as you work with them, of course, and they'll take on your character.
The way I kind of feel about it is, if I pick the parents through aerial performance or breeding or just plain old luck. I mean, let's just say I got lucky and picked 2 that I thought would be compatible, and they produced a good percentage of usable stock or kit birds, then I could almost call those my own.
Well, sure you could.
Almost call. Even though I bought the parents from someone else.
Exactly. It doesn't matter.
My matching of
the 2
made them do what they did or don't do what they did.
What I say, and that's a pretty good rule of thumb, I think after the 5th year of working with a particular strain, I think they're your birds.
Right,
and you could say they're your strain now.
Right, yeah.
Because they have taken definitely on your character.
That I agree with, and that's a great way to say it. Because as we all know, everybody's got to start somewhere,
Exactly.
sometime.
Let's go over to the middle loft. I'd like
Okay.
to show you some.
Excellent, Richard. Let me just get one more
Sure,
quick
you just go ahead and
panorama here.
What do you wanna do here?
Sure won't waste a lot of your time.
No, that's okay.
This is real special for us. Full brother to Black Rain right there. Anybody's interested? Just kind of looking at Mr. Jacenette's birds here. The loft squeakers. Certainly does have a lot of very, very unusual, beautiful colors. A gorgeous cockbird. Seems to be a dark tort. There's a nice, I believe that's a tort also, next to a gorgeous bronze bar tort cock.
Notice how calm they are?
Yeah,
That's an important feature of the screen, by the way.
my birds are relatively calm also. That's one thing I will not tolerate,
That's good.
is
I know
radical
that.
acting birds. It's I gotta have temperament too.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what you're naming. It's part of the physical part of the bird, really.
Yeah, I've had a couple wild birds that, frankly, I just tossed them. I didn't like them,
Yeah.
and I didn't like how they would pick up or pick out or pick on the young or
Yeah, but you see,
whatever.
a bird that's fighting like that, it's not going to be able to control a good roll.
Yeah,
It's just not going to be able to handle it.
I believe it.
And that's why it's important.
I believe that too. Well, not to be redundant, there's an awfully gorgeous bird.
That's
Right there.
Pockets right there.
Pockets?
Yeah, I call him Pockets.
Pockets. Well,
His
how'd you describe
coloration is because of the split genes in what he had developed from his parents.
Okay,
And beautiful coloration. In fact, I turned down $350 for that bird.
I can believe that. I can believe that.
Yeah, I did.
Rollers are
Last
still
year.
a bargain, you know that, don't you? You
Somebody
better
wanted-
believe it.
Actually, a bird like that is nice to showcase a loft.
Uh-huh.
Because that kind of coloration doesn't come around very often.
Is there any way to describe that, or?
No, I call it a split gene. It's a black.
Split gene,
it's
black and white.
Broached black on one side, on the other side, and of course you have the hackling of the black and white.
Uh-huh.
Pretty bird. Nice
Unusual.
white eye,
Yeah,
or the gravel eye.
pearl eye.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay. We're going to shift now to Richard's other loft, which is on the, I believe you call it the west side of the structure. West side of this building. Okay, let's just, geez, I'm sorry. It was empty.
Don't drop the camera.
Okay, there's one last look at Pockets behind a lavender, looks like to be a cockbird,
Yeah, he's a cock.
and red grizzle.
One of his features in breeding is he'll breed all white too. All white cells. And not all of them, but he'll breed several of them that'll come out like that.
Pockets,
Yeah.
that's what you call him?
There's one of his progeny right down there, little hen, white self hen.
Oh
See it
yeah,
right down there?
sure do. This
Real
is
pretty bird.
a white self hen that came out of Pockets.
Yeah.
What produced that?
Oh, I had something else back in my, it was a cross actually off my 40 line and something that went back to Bill Pensum.
Okay, sounds great, sounds great. Okay, Pockets, well, we're going to see you again.
No.
Now we're going to slowly ease back out of the eastern side here of Richard Jacenette's breeding loft. Excellent looking birds, that's all I can really say.
And, these are birds that are actually breeding size birds, and they're a little bit more costly.
All right.
People look for a certain coloration, a certain type of bird. This is where I get them from.
Okay.
And they're kept here.
So
and,
what you're saying
I
is you've got colored rollers that spin.
Yes, sir. And the most important thing is, of course, they have to have the background.
Oh yeah, well,
For
absolutely.
for the performance. And then, of course, the coloration is secondary.
Of course. Well, I didn't want to confuse it. I don't mean to confuse
Sure.
it. But I believe I understand what you mean. Yeah.
Well, then there are some birds that are already sold here. And
Right.
Waiting
Yes,
for the
youngsters or young
shipment.
breeders.
Some of
or
the young birds are already
whatever you
sold.
may have,
Yeah. And
Stock looks exceptional. They have
there's a lavender laser line. There's some of the progeny right there. You see the same as the parents. Exactly the same. Another one right over there.
your birds have character, Richard. That's the word I'm looking for.
They're actually
They have
the right
character.
type. They have to have the right type.
Yeah.
And they can't be too large. They got to be that compact size that I look for.
Right. Well, you have that, and you have beautiful character birds. I believe you have beautiful colored birds, of course, and they just look right. Like Pensum said, you know, a first-class pigeon looks like one.
Here, I want to show you.
You have some first-class pigeons. That's all I know.
Excuse me, I want to show you a clay tortoise bar. I'm going to bring them out here for you.
Okay, love to see it.
Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this over. Yeah, because you could
got it.
And this is a beautiful marked bird. One of the prettier marked birds I've bred.
How would you describe that officially?
Actually, I call it a clay tortoise bronze bar.
Clay tortoise bronze bar, okay.
And if you want to cut it short, you can say a blue tortoise bronze, but I like to call it.
You wouldn't call that a blue grizzle then?
No, I don't call it
bronze tortoise.
because of the bronze feature in it.
Okay.
But
you can follow that.
Some of the old timers, they have some unusual names. I know out here in the West Coast, their nomenclature for birds is quite a bit condensed, and but yet I think you lose a lot out of a bird when you don't nickname it or call it pretty much what it is, even though it takes a lot more words to do it.
I understand. This is a lavender laser protege, isn't it, right there?
That's him. Yeah.
That is him?
Yeah. No, that's not him, but that's a cockbird off of him.
This is a cock directly out of lavender laser, right there. He was just sitting on the breeding bath pan. Get flustered. This is really a treat for me. All I can say is, wowee. You have some gorgeous pigeons. You really do. You really do. You absolutely do. That's all there is to it. You deserve all the credit you get.
And I'll show you another bird off of
yeah, please do. I'd love to see it. We'd love to see something that looks like black rain, Richard, if you have it, or...
Here's a daughter of black rains right here.
A direct... That one there? No.
Yeah, right here.
Just stick your back camera. This is out of black rain herself, right? That one right there?
That one right there. You see the black model.
Sure, right there. That black model right here who just jumped up on the
pretty black bird.
Absolutely fine looking black model.
Look at that type on it.
Gorgeous type.
See the way it stands, the intelligence, the look.
I do.
Just enough featheration.
This particular pigeon is out of black rain herself.
Yep, that's her.
I just want everybody to know that this is a direct descendant of black rain. 82 cover APJ. One of the finest rollers we believe it's ever been bred. Okay, if everybody's enjoying this video, we've got a little bit more to go here. We're having just a wonderful time with Mr. Richard Jacenette.
I'll show you a kid of bird shipped.
Okay, and they're about how old, Richard? Would you say?
6 to 9 weeks.
6 to 9 weeks.
Yeah.
Look at that little lavender.
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah.
Goodness. What do you sell your kits for? What would a kid of like 20 of these youngsters go for?
Okay, well I start off with 8 birds, 200, 10 birds, 250.
I see.
12 birds, 295, 16 birds, 375, full 20 bird kit, 465.
Full 20 bird kit is 465. Okay, find the finest quality Jacenette rollers.
And that's what we've got.
And they are just beautiful, Richard. I'm so impressed I can't even stand it, I'm telling you. I would, if I was just starting out again and I had seen what I see right now, I'd be happy to give you 465 for a 20 bird kit. I would. So we've got lavenders here, we've got black and whites, we've got reds. The lavenders are what's really catching my eye in the models. I'm a model freak.
Yeah.
I'm trying to establish a black and white model line of my own. And I'm coming along. I think I'm making good. I've only been in the hobby now for about, not even really 2 years.
Oh, God.
And I've already, done a lot of photography. I do videos of my own birds, of course. And I haven't visited Ellis yet, but I'm going to go up and see him. And I do our own flies in Florida. I did the big fly up here in South Carolina this summer. The guys from Piedmont Fly and Roller Club and the Foothills Roller Club, James Turner and those guys, Don Simpson, Don Green. So I got to meet a few of the Mid-South guys, and I had a real good time up there. I videotaped that whole flight. 80% of my footage is the NBRC footage on that particular tape. That's my photography. Jim Schneider, of course, he edited the tape, did a lot of the cutting of it and slowing of everything down. Edited it and did the flies, the slow action and the special effects. So me and Jim are going to work together. I'll probably visit Mr. Schneider and Alan McGordo. Oh, look at that bird. Right there. I'll probably visit Jim Schneider this May or June. Me and my wife will fly out and have a look at him. Okay, I am just enjoying this immensely. If you wish, I'll send you a copy of this tape. If you want, if not, it doesn't have to be. I just thought you may or may not want it. I will give you a fresh copy, so you'll get the first one made if you want it. And I think you'll enjoy it. Okay, you can see these birds are full of vim and vigor. They're probably ready to want to get out there. If they're 9 weeks old and they haven't been flown, they want to fly. That's why they're flapping so hard. When you first wean your birds, Richard, what kind of a mixture do you use? Just a straight grain or a mix?
Yeah, I use my own mixed grain. I'll show you out here in a minute.
Oh, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it.
And I've used this for over 40 years, and I swear by it.
I would love to know what it is. I use a 50-50 pellets and mix, but I'm always looking for a better way.
I'll show you, exactly what I do.
Okay, I'd like to spend quite a while here, but I think I've captured what I'm trying to capture. You can tell these young birds are just ready to go. They are energized, to say the least. About 8-9 weeks, they haven't been flown. They're ready to go. And these babies look just fit as a fiddle. Okay, we're moving. We're outside, and we're back on the lawn of Q. It's our pleasure.
This
Here's
is a grain that I
feeding
use.
mixture. Okay.
Now,
Care to explain it? Don't give us all your secrets, but
no, this is what I take, and I tell this to anyone that wishes to listen.
okay.
I take a 100-pound bag of regular pigeon feed,
Right.
and this is with a small popcorn, as you can see.
Uh-huh.
Don't ever get anything bigger than that.
Okay.
And I take that 100-pound bag, I'll mix
Popcorn.
50 pounds of Milo
Okay.
and 50 pounds of wheat. Now,
Okay.
the wheat could be the yellow, as you see here,
All
or
right.
it could be red wheat. Doesn't matter. Whichever
right.
is cheapest is fine.
Before I leave, I'm going to write that down. Would that be okay?
Sure. You take
Great.
your 50-pound Milo, 50-pound wheat, throw it in with 100-pound of regular pigeon feed with a small corn.
Right, with popcorn.
Uh-huh.
Got
And
it.
you've got a pigeon mix that's excellent for flying.
Really gets
What
them
it
going,
does, what it does is it takes your regular pigeon feed, which is about 16 to 18% protein,
8 to 15.
down to about 10 to 11%, which I think is
I've
ideal.
heard that from so many people.
Yeah.
Usually, if you could tell us how much do you give per bird per day, and how long can you get them to fly on that particular
tell
ratio of this particular grain?
I'll tell you, you can't set a hard and fast rule, and that's because when you're flying birds, usually you're flying starting off with young birds.
Right,
Young birds require a little more feed.
right, you bet.
After they start initially to develop through the first year,
Right.
then you can cut back quite a bit more.
Right,
But what you got to be careful of is when you feed a bird, feed them I'd say a peas or corn number 303, what I call can, almost full. And if they stay out for 45 minutes and fly, that's good.
right,
If they come down too soon, you know you haven't fed them enough.
right.
And if they stay up too long and go too high, you probably overfed them. And
Okay.
if you can't control them when they come down, you've overfed them.
Right, right.
That's what I
birds-
go by.
Okay. My birds tend to go up for an hour and a half, 2 hours on a level, tablespoon of 50-50. 50% pellets, 50% pigeon, no corn,
Yeah.
So they're getting a 15% mix.
That's a little high in protein, I would
Yeah.
say.
I'm going to write this down. I am personally
Definitely.
looking for a good mix that I can eliminate the pellets with, that I can feed all my birds, you know,
Yeah.
and that I can get them 45 minutes to an hour that they'll go up, spin, work hard, and come down.
Sure.
Even though that sounds ideal, that's what I'm shooting for.
Well, that's what you look for. That's
You
right.
know,
Exactly.
That's what we're gonna try to get here.
I
Okay.
think if you try this, it'll. I think you'll definitely work with it.
Right. Well, if I find a situation that I can work with and for, then I'll be real happy. But I would love
bet.
to eliminate the you know, the
Sure thing.
pellets. Of course, that's what I'm trying to say.
Actually, you know what I would do? I
Yeah,
wouldn't
Richard.
eliminate them altogether, the pellets, because if you notice, I had a few pellets in there.
Uh-huh.
What I do is, the birds like a little bit of salt taste, and
Right.
pellets do contain some sodium and salt.
So 5% pellets wouldn't kill them.
Wouldn't kill them, and in fact, it would benefit them.
And do you feed grit to your breeders or to your flyers?
Not to my flyers, a little bit to my breeders because they pick it up in the sand that I change every 2 weeks in the loft.
Right. That's what I
Uh-huh.
do too. I have a sand
Sand base.
base. Yeah,
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
sand is a great material.
Excellent, excellent. I go
for
by
this
it.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't think you
Deal.
could do better than that.
No, I sure don't think you could either. Well, you have really impressed me. I'll tell you that much. You have got some super looking birds. There's just no other way to put it. I call it like it is. I don't kind of fool around, but
Appreciate that.
you really have got some dynamite looking birds.
They've done the job over the years.
Oh, I bet they have. Yeah,
I'm always working, striving to do better.
sure. We
And,
all are.
I'll always do that. You know.
You bet.
I haven't reached the zenith, I don't think.
How old?
Sweetheart.
Oh, here's Richard's.
Little in-law, a little bit of a little grandchild here, I should
Hi,
say.
sweetie.
My daughter's down for the weekend. Then she's
Okay.
got her 2 little children.
It's Richard's
Okay.
granddaughter.
Yeah,
Mr. Jacenette's granddaughter.
yeah.
Awfully cute little.
Take a picture.
You were
Yeah.
taking the picture.
We're
He's
taking
taking
a
a picture,
picture of
of
you.
you. That's little Lindsay Ann.
Lindsay Ann.
Yeah.
Wave to everybody out there, hon.
Say hello.
Hi.
Wave to him.
Yeah, that girl. Boy, you're a sweetie.
Taking a picture.
We're taking your picture, honey. That's right.
Well,
Sure
that's
are.
great.
Well, okay, that's more than I bargained for.
Well,
Guarantee
it's
you.
nice that you came down and
Oh,
sure
yeah.
enjoyed your visit. And
Well, we
by
sure.
golly, you have to come back again one of these days.
Yeah, we'd sure love to, Richard. Okay, folks, I'm going to run real quick across the front of Mr. Jacenette's loft again, and then we're going to write down the feeding formula, if he doesn't mind giving it to me.
No, I'm going to get you a piece of paper and I'm going to write it down on my letterhead.
Okay.
I'll print it right out for you.
Thanks, Richard.
Yeah, Lindsay Ann, you got a little horse on your trip.
Dun, 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 dun. Adorable little child, isn't she? Yes, you are. Okay, well, as you can see, it's 9/11, February 9th, 1990. That's Florida time, so it's a little different out here. Right now, it's probably 5:30 LA time. But basically, you've seen it, folks. Stephen R. Wolf at the loft of the one and only Richard Jacenette. Jacenette family of birds. We've got a brief history here of what he's done with all of his birds and everything like that. Man is extremely informed, seems to know exactly what's going on, and I'd say he's a very confident breeder. If I was starting out in rollers again, I wouldn't hesitate to buy birds from this man. That's just how he strikes me. He's a good guy. Okay. We're going to roll a little more footage later on of some different things, but thought you all would enjoy that back there in Florida, and all the guys from my roller club and whoever else might get to see this particular tape. Ellis McDonald. Howdy, Ellis. Can you believe this? We're out here, buddy. We're doing it. We're happening. Next, I hope I get to see Ellis McDonald. We're going to run up to his place one of these days and maybe even run out to see Jim Schneider in Alamogordo, New Mexico. But this has been a real nice little visit with Richard. And we look forward to maybe coming out again sometime to see him and his birds. He's an extremely nice gentleman. Very very wonderful to visit with. Okay, well, we're going to conclude this. Say thanks a lot, Richard.
You betcha.
We